Hi, this is Vanessa Howie. Excuse me. I am a personal trainer. I'm going to show you my credentials. I do have music in the background. It's from my Spotify account. Here's one of my certifications. And I have an ISSA certification. And this is one in a series of videos that I'm doing on legs and glutes. Yesterday, turn that down just a touch. Yesterday I did the first in the series on legs and glutes. Now I'll continue with doing that. And I'll start with doing lunges going on to the Bosu. Move a few things out of the way here. Bring this Bosu here into the picture. Okay. Now first things first. You don't want to be directly behind the Bosu like this. Okay? Let me make sure that that's fully in frame there. Good. You don't want to be directly behind it like this. You want to be almost a foot, your own foot, length behind it. The reason for that is you're going to be stepping onto an uneven surface. So if you're too close and you do this motion here and you lunge forward, this top knee is going to go past the front toe. You don't want that to happen. So, what you need to do is step back, and I'm going to do it with the back foot coming onto it so that you can see what the front knee is doing, both knees. And the same with any lunge is you want to have the weight in your front heel and in the back toe. Bending both knees. Now the weight is in the front heel. The knee is also over the ankle or over the front heel as well. Yeah, and I'm having to really contract my core and my legs to keep me on here. Push into the heel to stand up. Bending both knees. Now, when you come onto this, you want to think about vertical movement. An elevator goes up and down. Unless you're seeing the Harry Potter movies, and then it will go forward and back. But anyhow, you want to think about up and down motion. You don't want to do forward and back. You do forward and back, and this is what you're going to get. And I've seen a lot of people do this, and then they tell me, I'm not really feeling it a lot in the legs at all. That's because that's what they're doing. They're not bending either knee, really. They're bending this knee, but the weight is not shifting to where it needs to go. So bend both knees, weight in the front heel, push off the front heel, stand. I'm going to do some on this front leg. Bend both knees, push off to the front heel. Now if you don't have a Bosu at home, but you still want to try this, do it stepping forward, bending both knees, pushing into that front heel, and stand. The same concept applies whether it's with a Bosu or without. With the Bosu, you have an uneven surface, the concave surface or the dome surface. Concave would be a scoop. Dome surface is the other way. And with the dome surface, it's uneven, and it forces all your stabilizers to kick into play. Okay, now that was the lunges onto the Bosu. Now do a one-leg squat with weight. I'm going to pick a 5-pound weight. Now, the way that I'm going to do this, I'm going to put the weight in on the working leg. My back toe. So it's going to look like this. But what you're going to do is you're going to act like you're sitting in a chair. So I could do this in this position and show it to you like this, but if you see it from a side view, it gives you a better understanding of the mechanics going backward. So, back toe, weight in the front heel, you stick your booty back, you bend the front knee, and you put your weight in this heel. Torso down a little bit, but you don't want to collapse forward. Push into this front heel, stand. You do have some of the weight, about 25% of your weight is on that back toe. And it's there to make sure that you don't fall over. Because some people, when they lift that toe up, they cannot stand. Now, I don't know if you hear my knees popping and cracking, but they're doing it as I'm doing this. It doesn't hurt, but they are doing it. Now I'm going to switch legs just so that you can see the difference. Now, if you have a chair at home that is higher and you want to try doing this, but you just don't have the strength in your legs to do this motion here, you can try having an elevated seat, a seat that is X high, 17, 19 inches high, and doing this and sitting into that chair and then rocking yourself back up to stand. That you can do. Okay, I'm going to move on. Leg curl on the stability ball. I'm going to roll this out of my way. I will be using a variable pieces of equipment throughout this video and throughout all the videos that I do. Now, what I want you to remember is that if you're having a hard time doing this move, I'll show you modifications. Place your heels on the ball, and I'm rolling it out because I don't want the backs of my knees to almost be touching, because a lot of people feel comfortable when it's like this. You want your calves to barely be on that ball. So I'm not putting my hands onto the floor. The reason for that is when I do that and I do this, you will have a tendency to push your hands into the floor, and that will use more of the triceps. I don't want that to happen because this is a leg and glute series. So I'm going to keep my hands close to my waist, close to my chest. Push into your heels first. Bring the ball in, bending your knees towards your body. If you cannot do that second half, then what you do, so if you can't do this and this, bringing it out and then putting it down, what you do is you push up like this, and you hold, and then bring it down. So it's going to be the same count as if you did this motion here and then brought it down. But you're going to omit that middle part. It's going to be up here, 2, 3, and down. Okay? Once again, 1. That's the full exercise that I want you to do. The modification would be this here. 1, 2, 3, and then down on 4. Now, the super intense move, which I cannot do, I don't have the hamstring strength yet to do it, is once you push yourself up there and roll yourself in and roll yourself out, you stay up there and continue to roll yourself in and roll yourself out. Don't allow your bottom to drop down to the floor. And that's why I'm not demonstrating it, is because I just don't have the hamstring strength yet. Okay. Alright. We're going to do a deadlift using the tubing. And I will use this tubing. Yeah, this tubing. This is from those that want to know. Oops, sorry about that. This is from ProSource. Okay. And the resistance on mine, some of you might know from the previous videos, I write the resistance on my pieces of tubing. Mine is medium. There you go. Alright, now, both feet in, arch of the feet are in. I'm going to take my hands through the handles. I'm going to walk my hands down. Yeah, I almost lost my balance there. Standing up. Hinge from the hips. Now in the video that I did the first one of these in, still doing the legs and glutes, but I'm doing it with a different prop. And I'm walking my hands down, pushing into the heels. I walked my hands down because I noticed that it was not going to be intense enough for me as I got down there. I did the same exercise, I think it was yesterday, on the legs and glutes video, the first part, the part 1. This one is going to be part 2. Push into the heels and squeeze that tushy when you do that. So it's there are two actions that need to happen. Pushing into the heels and squeezing the glutes. One more. Pushing, 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 pushing. Okay, now, I'm not going to just drop this tubing. I'm going to hinge forward from my hips. Release the foot, release the hands. That's how you do it safely. I know some people that don't do it safely, and they wind up popping themselves in their eye or on their hands or something because they just don't think about the proper mechanics of releasing safely from the tubing. Okay. Bosu Leg Kicks. Now, I'm going to show it to you from a side view, side angle. Making sure, alright, good to go. So, you're essentially starting in a partial lunge to begin with on this. Alright, that's what I thought. You're starting in a partial lunge, sorry about that, to begin with. Both knees are slightly bent when you begin. What you're going to do is you're going to use this front heel to come onto the Bosu, and this back leg is going to kick forward. And then come back. So it's maybe 1 second up there and then coming back down. Yes, it's going to be challenging. Now, those that don't have a Bosu, but you have a zip trainer, you do it like this. Unzip it. Put it into the domed position. And either on the front or on the back. I'm going to scoot it to underneath that bench there. Put it in the center. Still having the same stance. Kick it and down. Kick it and down. Weight in the front heel. This leg is just doing range of motion, stretching that hamstring, and warming up that quadricep. The leg that is on the device is the one that is working. And that's why you need to switch legs. Now you can switch, as in, if you're starting here, then you can move over here and do the other side, or going around and facing the opposite direction. Your choice. And by the way, those that do not have a zip trainer or a Bosu, or even if you have them and you're just not quite comfortable doing it yet, practice this way. Starting in a split stance, slight bend in the knees. You don't want to have full lunge. You want to have a slight bend. Weight in the front heel, kick, and bring the back foot to its original position. Having a slight bend in this front knee shifts the weight and into the heel, shifts the weight into that back glute. So that's what you can do. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now, this one, for some people, may seem a little bit redundant because it seems like that we're doing multiple lunges. However, we are doing that, but we're doing it on varying surfaces, which really, really challenge that lower body. And it challenges, and it challenges the muscles within that lower body. Okay, so we're going to start behind. Same distance as what we talked about with lunges onto the Bosu. We're doing lunges onto a step. Now, this is the highest that I recommend you lunging onto. Now, this height would be for beginners. Those that are lunging, this is the beginner position, the beginner height, 8 inches. 6 inches, which if you're looking at from here, from the height of this bottom to this top, this is 6 inches right here. So this is 8 inches and this is 6 inches. Not the legs. The blue portion with the gripped bottom. That is the 6-inch platform there. So you have a visual difference on what you're dealing with there. So stepping behind, my back leg is going to lunge onto the step, bending both knees, weight in the front heel, push off. Lunge and push. Now, if you notice that your low back begins to bother you, then don't do it on the step. You can do it this way. That's fine. Okay? If your low back starts to bother you. Because some people, when they lift the leg up, it will have a tendency to curve under the back, and it may stretch the back in a way that's uncomfortable. And I'm trying to do this where once I put the foot on, it's a vertical move, not horizontal. Okay? So, alright. Next one, there are Plie Squats. I'm not going to worry about doing weights on this one. I'll just show you the form. Wide stance. Your legs, if you were to look down, they're almost in a V position. Okay? Or V. Or that position, A. Your toes are almost at a 45-degree angle. When your knees bend, I want you to bend them toward your toes. Like that. Okay? Weight in the heels when you do this. So a side view will be like this. Okay? Okay. Alright. Curtsey dips. I'll do this without using any weight. I'll do a front and then a side. And I did this on one of my other videos, but I'll do it here as well, no problem. So, like a regular dip or reverse lunge, you're going to go back, but you're going to go over to one side. This leg will go first. You're going to go back, but then I'm going to go more in line and off to the side from the other leg. Bend the knees, weight in the front heel, push into the front heel, squeeze in the glute stand. Once you get good at this, go straight out. Meaning don't transition, go back and then to the side. Start in this position and go immediately to the side. Once you get good at this, once you know how to do your form. I'm going to show you to the side. The leg furthest away from me is the one that's going to cross behind. So, back. And then I'm going to cross over. Bend the knees. Weight in the front heel. Push. There. Cross. Okay. Now I'm going to go right into it. So, when you're doing it, your alignment, the alignment of your feet is almost, it's either in line, where one is in line with the other, or the back foot is to the outside of the front foot. Okay? That's how you want to do it. Because it challenges the balance, it challenges the intrinsic muscles, the stabilizers in the leg, and that's the reason that I let you train in that way. Okay, stationary runner's lunge with toe taps. I'm going to do this just from a side view. Because if I do it from a front view, you're going to be like, what? What is that girl talking about? Okay. Now, some people may have to have a small bit of assistance, like a step or a chair. If you need that, use it. Stepping back, bending the front knee, only the front knee. The back leg stays straight. I'm going to have one hand on the bench here. This back leg is going to come forward, tap. Now, you don't want to do this. You see how my torso is rocking forward and back with the body? Don't do that. Do this. The leg and part of the hip is the only thing moving. Okay? You want to really feel it in this stationary leg. I really feel it in the outer hip, in the glute, in the quad, on that stationary leg. If you cannot get that deep, it's okay. So if you need to hold on to something else and not go as deep and do this motion here, I'm still feeling the heat in that muscle. Even though I'm not as low, I'm still feeling it. It's okay, and I'm not using any additional weight. I'm using my own body weight. That is just fine. Okay, see if I have time to do one, maybe two more. Okay, one more, we'll see about two. Okay. Alright. Now there are two ways I'm actually going to show this exercise being done two ways. So this will be the last exercise in this video. This one, you can do it off having your body off the back or your body coming from the front. I'll show you the back first. The front foot will stay on the step. The back foot will stay on the floor. And you're basically going to do an elevator lunge like this. Coming off the back. This is a split stance lunge on the step. Okay, now, if you wanted to do this from the front, this works different areas in different ways. Having it in the front is going to work more of the glute. Having it on the step is going to work more of the quadricep. So, same setup, but the front foot is on the floor, and the back toe is on the step. You do not need to bend the front knee as deep And you can, I'm hanging on the TV right now, as you can tell. I want to make sure I have enough stability. And I'm pushing into the front heel, and I'm going to stand. I felt a fire all through here doing that. When I was doing it on the step, I felt the fire in the front of the leg and in the side. So we'll hit it in different ways depending upon if you do it this way, or if you have the foot on there, doing it that way. Okay. Okay, I'm going to cut that off here. This will apparently be a three-parter, but that's okay. I don't mind. If you did enjoy this video, subscribe if you'd like. I only ask that you please let the commercial play out. I get a few pennies every time someone allow the commercial to play. You don't have to listen to it, just allow it to play. And if you enjoy it, subscribe. Please go down and click the like button. It helps me out a lot doing that. And I will be bringing you more videos soon. Thanks. Bye.